Hello, I'm Meganine 6.7, and I'm here with my friends Kizzy Caspi and Zoogs. And today we'll be riffing on the PC adventure game Less Manly Search for the King.
Hey everybody, what's up? Glad to be back again.
Hello, I'm Zoogs. Thank you for joining us today, folks. I hope you enjoy the ride, and trust me when I say it's not at all copyright infringement.
We hope you enjoy this LP misting, and feedback is always welcome. If you like this Let's Play, there's information about our other projects at the end of the video. Will we play this game? Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
It's ironic, the soap opera music playing in the background.
Will JB acknowledge his twin brother second from the left? Will Ed, Ned, and Ted on the right just look at each other and start kissing? Find out next time on Network.
Panhandling for petty cash.
JB? You sure this isn't JK? This looks suspiciously like Time Chasers.
Tony Schiavone? Who let you in here? Security!
Check supermarkets in Michigan. I hear they see Elvis all the time there.
Dennis Franz goes EGA.
Yeah, the Presley estate is really easygoing about people exploiting its properties. Go nuts.
More like roll the dice.
Hey, look, off to the left. Peggy Olson's legs.
But only her legs. She isn't allowed to sit with the men.
I guess JB and RJ Fletcher believe broads don't belong in broadcasting.
Oops, wrong tape. We all have 7 days to live now. Sorry.
What? Is Lunkhead the brother of Meathead?
I miss 80s PG slang. Ooh, I hope someone gets called a slimeball. Or scumbag. I love scumbag.
Tech support of the 80s.
Don Knotts is less manly.
Meanwhile, everyone born in the year 2000 is wondering what the hell that thing is on Les's desk.
Hell, the suits can barely dress themselves.
Knock it over!
Yeah, throw it out the window! Aww.
It's amazing how a cigar can produce an insane amount of smoke, and yet the room remains as clear as a crisp spring morning.
Haha, they got rickrolled.
Ah, internet memes. Never gonna give them up. That's some nice side glancing there.
Stella and Stanley here should have stuck with the streetcar.
Heck, my chess set has 2 of them. Back in a jiffy.
As he hoofs it to King Supers.
Considering his workplace, does that mean the game's only 15 minutes long?
Feel the power of the intro music.
That bass line really has me a-hoppin'. A less stated premise?
Jerry Lawler?
Jack Kirby?
Bruce Campbell?
Those held responsible? Sounds about right. Holy shit, who blew out the wall?
Maybe it's the cave from the Weird Al show.
Is that ductwork or Les's habit trail? For a 2-bit knockoff network president who hasn't one clue.
I'm happy that they're letting the electronic tuba carry the melody.
Saving electricity by winding videotape would be like using a 10-cent off coupon at the Chevrolet dealership.
Considering how many times you eye-fondled her cleavage, I think the secret's out, Les.
Luckily, Vice President Armani wants to see you in his office right now.
And sure as hell can't carry a tune.
Unless you're Adam Levine.
Corky from Life Goes On?
Natch.
She checks herself in the mirror at a water cooler? What?
I'd riff on the size of her mirror, but let's face it, this is an adventure game where everyone has a bottomless pocket dimension in their pants.
You're totally talking about Les and not the person playing the game, right?
Well, that explains the white stains all over the floor. Ew.
As poor Les discovered when he had to leave a Van Halen concert on a stretcher.
And are there mega dittos coming from the speaker?
Oh great, is Jeremy Spangler on next?
Hello? I'd like to say that the creep living above me is a total jackass. He keeps stomping the floor every time Vinny cheers on the Yanks.
A Red Sox fan?
The Pokeroo?
Of cartoons!
Personally, I'd rather search for Dixie. Only one less than our weekly UFO sighting. Speaking of which, Charlie from Roswell, you're on the air.
Use chainsaw.
The thermos apparently doubles as a McDLT.
Ah, remember those.
God bless the 80s.
Plus his mom was too cheap to buy one for him.
Back then, and to this very day.
They should have gone with a Monkees marathon.
No, you'll drown the sea monkeys. Wait.
Last time I ate peanut butter without water, I was legally dead for 2 minutes before they revived me.
No, we aren't talking about Usagi at Craft Services.
Yeah, that'd be more like... Okay, did a 12-year-old write this? Seriously.
Considering how wimpy Les is, I'm amazed that belch didn't rupture his esophagus. Manners. They're worth at least 10 points.
Did I just watch one of those 50s shorts with the narrator coaching the hapless kid?
Nah, that would be more like this.
Lester is a fine example of an American. He never forgets to start his mornings with crisp, clean American water every day. And he always excuses himself whenever he has to pass gas from his mouth. Only godless communist scum would ever consider otherwise. Ask yourself, America, are you willing to be less manly? Good night.
It says masturbating, keep out. Love and kisses, the janitor.
But somehow you feel better anyway.
Les Manly, member of the Underground Resistance.
What, you expect a manager to actually manage something?
It's a circus of Camrys, Concords, and Cavaliers. Come to Colonel Bob's traveling circus of used cars.
Will require a reboot in order to finish installing. Reboot your computer now. Lila Libido. Wonder if she's related to Lois Lust.
Is that a porn star?
Probably.
You would not believe how newsworthy this is.
Must be Fox News covering spring break again.
No, still. Says the employee who rewinds videotapes while jerking off on the phone and yet still managed to score his own personal office?
Wait, if this guy is the boss, then who is that bald guy from the intro?
Accolade could only afford to hire Dennis Franz for 5 minutes. Tops.
What, the boss is a janitor too?
Maybe they're the keys to the city, considering they're the size of your head.
Pilfering peon! To the pit with you!
Yikes. Needless to say, Shrek was pissed.
Really? What do they let you into?
Fuck if I know. Is this your face in the security camera?
To cover the Lila Libido story, I can block her son too.
Considering the station's financial woes, Les may not want his boss looking into his personal phone calls.
Well, can I at least have a new phone with more durable buttons? At least until he goes home to his wife.
Yeah, right, he has no personnel file.
He just wandered in off the streets one day and nobody's caught on.
I often suspect the same thing about my coworkers. He had some sort of stroke aneurysm with his eyes.
Solving puzzles by way of creepy leering. Thanks, game.
Thrill as we blackmail the boss failingly. If she can get away from Larry Laffer long enough.
Nah, she already tied him to a bed and stole his money. Oh wait, wrong blonde.
Like the boss is working now anyway.
He's high enough that he doesn't have to acknowledge that fact.
In more ways than one.
Dude, you're breaking into a storage closet. Get a grip.
Oh, this was certainly worth risking your... Holy shit, dude! Is that a toolbox? That's adventure gaming gold, man!
Places for sex, more places for sex, and sex toys.
If that's true, try not to think about why the walls are yellow.
Reporter's ID in a toolbox. Sure, that sounds legit.
Oh, come on! I can see from here there's a lot more stuff in that toolbox. Even if it's all useless, I still want it in my inventory, damn it!
What a coincidence! The person in the photo ID sorta kinda looks like you too. That'll spare us an extra couple of puzzles along the way, huh?
Why the hell would a client come in the rear entrance anyway?
Assholes prefer a familiar environment when entering a building. Sarcasm or obliviousness? You make the call. Ask him if he's an extra in Planet of the Apes.
Because waking the sleeping security guard guarantees that he's going to do whatever you want him to do for the next 20 minutes.
My friends and I were rescuing a cheerleader from a mad scientist and his family in a much better game.
I'm guessing Dave wasn't issued a weapon since Les is still conscious and breathing.
Deep, like the bottom of a skull can.
Thanks, Tips.
What busy streets? It's like a tomb out here. Hell, even the music's buggered off.
Oh, and music's back from the restroom.
The bus station. Everyone's last resort for 60 years and counting.
Get an animation. Oh, sorry, yours only works from the outside.
He's got a job, madam. He works across the street. No, not at the Starbucks. No, not at that Starbucks either.
Look, Mother, I'm playing right now. I'll come for dinner in 10 minutes.
So, all women are either out of Playboy Central casting or generic mom characters. Got it.
Why not just cast MILFs? Then you have the best of both worlds.
Stop it. Trying to get through this one without the bile rising.
Hey, Father, would you mind blessing my quest here? Oh, shoot.
Do the leash laws apply to soundtracks?
Either way, the shit wafts strongly in the air.
Oh, a circus! I love a circus!
Yeah, MIDI circus music.
Nice ad-lib, Meg.
Oh. Sounds like a Blue Man Group production.
And suddenly this is the best circus ever.
Finally, I can throw my balls in peace. Oh, come on, we're already inside. Who's gonna know? Even Clowny here doesn't give a shit.
A late model Gulfstream? There's meth cooking around here somewhere.
What is with the freaking music? Start, stop. Start, stop. Come on, soundtrack. Are you going to participate in this game or not?
You realize you're actually demanding the return of circus music?
Shit, you're right. What's wrong with me?
Though that trailer is definitely not a rockin'.
Thank the Lord.
At least you know for a fact they're not Amish.
Does he know he's an NPC doomed to have only a couple lines in an old game?
Please be human, please be human, please be human. Oh, thank God. It's only a stereotype.
When did Foghorn Leghorn fall into the spring of drowned man?
No! Nah, I'm just fooling. Or at least score some leftover candy floss. Y'all realize it's coming off the ground. Still more hygienic than the serving stall, I assure you.
Personally, I think he's better off with some professional hep.
Try? You say try? Boy, I say boy, y'all do or y'all do not. There ain't no trying. No siree bob. Ow, my arm!
Star Wars wipe.
Yeah, the special edition of this game has CGI elephants and Jar Jar slipping on their poop. Is this a comedy or a case study in clinical depression?
Come to the Circus of Despair. Free Paxil and booze for Mom.
Where all the balloons have frowny faces that are more depressing than the clowns.
You'll never smell anything like it again.
Complimentary calls to the suicide hotline. Even Barnum and Bailey found it too morbid.
Okay, that's enough.
Meet us in Arlington later. We'll leave a parking garage open for you. Ask for Deep Drunk.
Phew, I'm exhausted.
And now Colonel Bob has to go back to teaching ESL for Asian kids by teleconference.
Son of a bitch, that's smarts.
Hey, screw the circus. Let's go see Dirty Dancing instead.
Well, yes, they call him the geek. Fastest thing on 2 feet.
Zarmuska? Sounds like a fishing village in Canada.
Or Bullwinkle and Drag.
I wonder if she saw herself working for Colonel Bob many years ago.
Doubt it.
Ball reading? She's a urologist on the side?
I'm not sure I'd want a ball reading from someone who can't even position her font on her trailer correctly.
Palm jobs are great, though, because no matter how bleak your future looks, you're always guaranteed a happy ending.
I bet Madame Zarmuska doesn't even travel with the circus. Colonel Bob just visits the local trailer park in advance and picks one of the many gifted individuals who live there no matter the city.
That would explain half of the people cast for reality TV.
And the other half that watch them.
Which is on loan? Madame Zarmuska or the full wet lips?
You know, palm jobs, your own fucking joke. Jeez. Well, I guess that's true. Wait, what?
And the cake is a lie, we know. Get on with that.
Priscilla has no idea about us, and he's going to leave her any day now. I tried living in Hollywood, but it was too creepy and weird.
Straight out of Central Casting, aren't you?
Not The Longest Journey, though. That's a different game.
Again? Journey, remember?
And Seizure. Better not go home for a while less.
No, it's a search on Google to find a walkthrough. Of hearts?
So, which orb should I be staring at? The one with a face in it, or the two slightly above?
I've made my choice.
Okay, he's right there. Game over.
Check. Your move, Kingy.
First Leisure Suit Larry, now King Graham? Is Sierra even aware their characters are moonlighting?
Fatality.
Yeah, if I had to ask the same question 5 times, I'd get pissed answering it constantly too. Make that 6 times.
Maybe her secretary really sucks at taking dictation.
And the Veed. Lots of the Veed. Forget Rocky 5. Rocky Balboa will save the franchise. Trust me, darling.
Perhaps you can use the next type something box to say punch in face.
Demand the last 60 seconds of your life back. Or a new light fixture.
Or the last person who wanted his future foretold. Well, that was a pointless cul-de-sac, and she never gave Les a palm job.
Yeah, what a gypsy. Luigi Pastrami, a name only slightly less eye-rolling than Nintendo Punch-Out's Pizza Pasta.
Look, man, really?
Augusta Rodin's The Blinker.
He just came from the fortune teller's tent, too.
Jeez, is there anyone who's not depressed in this game? Probably that time of the month.
I still haven't found the Mario. What am I going to tell the princess, assuming I ever find the right castle?
Hey, she's the one offering the palm jobs. Well, they're both two-dimensional.
Ah, so he's an escort.
Too many Pringles, man. Hey, it's Helmut.
The teeny little super guy.
He needs to find an MTV show to be a mascot for. Does that mean he will only respond in German as well?
Volkswagen. Das Auto?
The clown groupies weren't nearly as fun as advertised.
Other than being a spokeshrimp for WonkaVision?
Like a Twilight movie.
Coming from a tiny man who would drown in a doggy bowl?
Yeah, but I'm bigger and can stuff him in my pocket until he submits to my will.
Yikes. Oh, she's an opera star. Can I request some habanera from Carmen, please?
No, but she can belch out an aria if you'd like.
I feel like he would have wasted just as much time by talking to the elephants.
Pretty sure his nose would have disagreed.
So this circus has the world's tallest, world's smallest, and world's strongest man, but only the world's fattest woman?
Yeah, at least give us a bearded lady.
She probably has one.
I think you're missing my point.
Does world's fattest woman with a milk mustache count?
Circus entrance? What the hell was all that stuff we just walked through? The freak flea market?
And we're super sure that Colonel Bob isn't selling used cars under that tent? If a bell rings and no dude bros are around to hear the sound, are you really strong?
And next, the Peanuts.
Finally, something to make the elephants talk.
I know you witnessed the murder. Don't play Dumbo with me. An elephant never forgets.
Ah, so this is where all the ticket buyers went.
Come for the air conditioning, stay for the air conditioning.
I hope you're taking notes, Pixar.
Holy crap. He's a lion whisperer?
Your cat is calling out to you. He wants food, then sunlight to sleep in.
First time someone's ever thought of Les as a piece of meat. Yeah, be sure to get a running start before mauling the 98-pound weakling. There you go.
So Death is biting into an expired hot dog? Interesting interpretation.
Behold the pale horseradish. The wiener that sat upon it was death, and halitosis followed with it. Les Manly wanders aimlessly into circus tent. Take 2.
What meat is that lion seeing anyway?
Extra lean, soon to be ground beef.
You think the lion would have the same concern about him?
Because lions love popcorn?
Shitty writing saves the day!
Yeah, fuck the lion tamer dream. This plot contrivance is what doesn't fit into the storyline.
Sure thing, Obi-Wan. That you seem to wander into?
Yeah, the mediocre shit's outside getting sunburned with a freak show.
Thank goodness it wasn't from a Stan.
I suppose that's better than helping Madame Zarmuska out with the palm jobs.
Alona against the world.
Her BA in Polish literature isn't good enough for the narrator.
Kinda like this dialogue.
Shut the hell up, spectator. We'll be on in a couple seconds. Makes it easy on HR.
German von, Russian of, French Anglais. It's proof the developers think that Europe is a foreign country.
I'm guessing our lovely narrator must be from one of those Ed states. Fred knows the circus cares as much for his safety as they do for his culture.
The rungs get wider and more diagonal the further they go up, almost as if someone didn't know how to draw perspective at all.
Oh, the player wanted to feel Alona's fun bags first.
Shut up. If only Roy had kept some popcorn on hand, he could be performing with Siegfried to this day.
Not like when you wandered on stage into the middle of a lion tamer's act.
What the?
Holy crap, someone nuked Santa Fe?
War. War never changes. No one was certain why the city of New York launched a nuclear dweeb into the outskirts of Las Vegas that day. Vegas quickly retaliated by launching Carrot Top, guaranteeing mutually assured annoyance. Before long, panic and paranoia gripped the planet. More and more dweebs were launched. Until the earth was covered in a goose-down feather duvet of despair. And for a time, there were no fortunes to be won or told. But humanity would not be extinguished. The nations of the world would rise once again, as would their mass dweebs of destruction. Because war never changes. Nah, we're just screwing with you. See, less is just fine. Wait, what?
And any small hint of plausibility just burned up in the atmosphere.
Does he land on the planet of the Metroids next?
Should have stocked up on Acme products less. You'll never catch the Roadrunner now.
The Undertaker approves. Damn it! Why won't that groundhog die? So Luigi is his psychiatrist too?
Tell me about your mama.
Especially if the Cowboys cover against the Patriots.
Yeah, right, and the Cubs might win the world. Oh crap, can't use that joke anymore.
Yeah, the future isn't what it used to be.
What kind of nerd says that?
Oh, thank God.
This looks like the street where Cooney throws people out of windows.
Stupid!
Yeah, someone probably put a bullet through its crankcase on its trip back from Jersey.
It just won't die.
Hey, it's the steps from 227.
Times are changing every day. We won't get by with those same old ways.
No. Ah, fun.
Or a sponge. Knocking on the door activates the doorbell? How quaint.
Detective Manley, NYPD, open up!
Someone dressed this set right after their day job on Happy Days.
Is the hole in the wall a real architectural feature?
Apparently. What's even sadder, those pictures came with the frames when she bought them.
Therapy?
Wait, is she Thelma or Louise? I always get those two mixed up. And totally not a woman's vagina. No way.
She worships a sweaty scarf? What's her Bible, a wet mitten? Yeah, look, woman, you totally need a new scarf.
Or so Carla Hall keeps telling us.
Sure, take a load off, Les. We'll wait till you get a clue. No pressure.
I love how Les is just looking at us as if to say, well, now what?
He died from a lack of good taste.
And I'll bet you didn't know the king also fractured Catholicism off into his own branch of religion, so he could divorce his wife and... Oh, sorry, wrong king again.
Oh, really? Can it cure the clap? That would be really helpful to a friend.
I need a bed, honey.
Oh, with me, baby, it's guaranteed to be bad. That almost never, ever happens.
What story would you think they're chasing anyway?
Tiananmen Square?
Ouch.
In a Pee Wee Herman hooked up with Barney Fife and had an angry threesome with Nicolas Cage sort of way. Seriously? Les is looking at the player like, help me!
Oh, you're gonna kill me after we mate, aren't you?
Ask about the horrible couch. So that's how you get her to shut up.
Bobby doesn't like to talk about herself, just about everything else.
You have to ask for an alcohol. Would you have some fluid, kind miss?
You want to try a vial of his sweat? It's really delish.
Ah, yes, soda. How stupid of us to not realize that was the proper phrasing.
She scurries like Peg Bundy.
Well, it just kind of lays there.
Just like my last 3 husbands.
Well, that's a dick move.
Les heard soda helps get out stains. Unfortunately, he was thinking of club soda.
Vamos?
Yeah, that's Calvert. Get the fuck out. Mew at work?
Yeah, right. He's probably just bouncing around on a pink bubble as usual. God, I envy him.
Huh? That's a shitty washing machine.
She didn't just forget the fabric softener, she forgot the detergent.
Recalling? Les was using them just last week. Nah, he'll think of Bobby and put other stains on it.
Classy.
But likely.
This cheap production can't reverse the video? What?
They must have blown the budget on that reverse angle shot in the bus station.
And Les is walking about town much like an urban Paul Hogan.
Oh, that's not a bow tie. That's a bow tie. Another letter? Man, email can't come fast enough for this guy. Meanwhile, Monkey Man continues to sleep at his post.
In this case, I don't want to see his dirty clothes pile at the end of the week.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's what you want your security guard dreaming about. Some security guard can't even guard his own dreams.
Seriously though, if anyone out there who's played this game figured out that dream puzzle without using a walkthrough or buying the hint book, congratulations, and welcome to our planet.
And another letter.
Think we could ditch Les and find out what that guy's deal is instead? Okay, programmers, if you're gonna keep sneaking Larry into your game, at least give him a credit at the end.
Or a box lunch for the extra work.
You're now a firefighter. On Mars.
Ice cream, luxury vacations. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want a severed head. Mommy!
And like all new friends, it's time to stuff them down our shorts.
Yeah, I don't think Les Manly needs to be reminded of that.
Can't tell which one should stay at the circus more, Les or Helmet. Why are we gossiping with Madame Zarmuska again?
For an excuse to stare at her hands?
More like claws. Look at those things. Yikes.
Makes you reconsider the whole palm job thing, huh?
Yeah, really.
Especially when we run out of batteries.
Wait, why does Helmut want to leave again?
Are we sure that Helmet isn't dancing on top of the synthesizer in order to make the music?
Why, he probably thinks this game is all about him.
And if the lizard was an IBM, that would make sense.
Maybe he's just an elaborate USB drive.
Donut glaze. So I might get to have relations with her and copulate?
Well, we can't obviously swipe the wax while she's still here, so let's throw caution and decency to the wind and invade her personal space.
Suddenly you hear a muffled sob coming from deep inside your pocket as a tiny voice cries out,
I could have had her? Damn you, Les!
Actually, it sounded more like...
Huh, usually they don't disappear until after I... well, shoot! Either Les prefers lotion or he doesn't believe in tissues.
Either way, ew. Oops, didn't mean to trigger you there, little buddy.
Thank goodness it's a lizard and not a snake with an eye patch. Oh, the lizard has his own law office.
Nice business card dispenser. Seriously, I want one of those for my office. Just like any M. Night Shyamalan film made before 1999.
Before 1999? At this rate, indefinitely.
Kinda assumed that's what the load button was for, but okay.
She wasn't carved from marble. She is a marble.
Yeah, she only badly cosplays as a human being.
And I resume shaming all Italians everywhere with my horrible accent.
Now he looks more like a 70s porn star.
Where it will meld with the wax, making your pants into a dry cleaner's wet dream.
Dream? Did someone say dream?
Back in the pocket, Helmut.
Aww.
Gotta say, that is one patient crowd.
So the rosin will make him fall faster?
Yep.
Oh man, he didn't catch the Roadrunner.
Whoops, sorry folks. Looks like Fred opted for a death embracing leap. The management apologizes for any trauma you and your family have just suffered and wish to remind you that there are no refunds. Except a whole lot squishier.
Fred go down the hole.
I don't think Fred's assistance will come through the help screen.
Hey, at least the player tried.
What's that? Fred's family wants to bury the cape with his body? Well, we've got a king to find, so you can go pound sand next of kin.
She seems to be cheering on the inside.
Yeah, this adventure's sorry enough as it is.
Oh, using hammer launch again?
Super Mario World totally ripped that off for their warp cannon shtick.
Uh-oh, looks like Gamera's had a few too many. Heads up, America, he's going down.
So if Les gets out of this hole, that means that the dickhead at the circus is fine. Damn it.
And yet Les here was manly enough to survive intact. Go figure.
Les's mother must have dipped him in the river Styx when he was a baby. Only his left heel suffered third-degree burns.
Oops, another letter. How many is that now?
This is how old people tweeted before Twitter was invented. Where exactly 2 is immaterial.
And then Les was immediately arrested for human trafficking. Back to the circus, must we?
Oh, please no more. The circus music eats my soul.
Last time, I promise.
The game is actually chastising us for not predicting its own insanity.
I feel like Martian Manhunter after diving into the Joker's brain. And on your right, you can see Canada in all its glory.
If only he was launched from Moncton, then the dude could have literally said, "Take off," and he would have been right.
Yeah, we're finally done with the circus!
Not only that, no follow-up message. We've successfully beaten the dead ends. Well, up to this point in the game anyway. And yet Helmut still beat him here. That's some ludicrous speed postal service right there.
Why didn't you just mail yourself originally, Les?
Obviously, Les prefers airmail.
Left is Hollywood and right is Phoenix?
Or was it the other way around? Hell with it.
So Les will build Las Vegas by himself?
No, he'll get help from that buzzard and Helmut too.
Unless the buzzard eats Helmut.
The phone's ringing? Is it E.T.?
Maybe it's the producer telling Les the game's been cancelled.
If it's a telemarketer, I'm officially quitting this life. Hello, nurse!
Huh, I don't remember ordering cheesecake.
I've been reduced to hawking a 1976 line. Isn't that terrible, Les? Les, are you still there? What's that weird rubbing sound?
Nothing like being honest.
And he couldn't afford a writer to fit me into the story? What a goof!
Sadly, he doesn't have $2.99 for the first 3 seconds, much less the first 3 minutes.
Oh, great. Now I'm lost and horny.
Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods.
And through the Neverland Ranch we walk.
Out past the Manson family. Wave hi to the builders getting that wall up for Trump now. Don't trip in the less hole, Les.
Yeah, Les, don't be a less hole.
Oh, Las Vegas was already built.
Just the one hotel so far. They've got a long way to go.
Because women are never broken, just sexually available?
Transportation except a thumb? Oh, you mean the Uber drivers?
Gee, I don't know. What are the odds of finding someone dressed like Elvis in Las Vegas?
They're usually dropping out of the sky.
Ooh, easy. Les is still sensitive about that.
Big lobby, big prizes. I love it.
Hey, Bernardo, could you dress up as the king so I can defraud my workplace and bag us a cool meal?
Hey look, it's Wilford Brimley with the Doublemint twins.
Yeah, you called him man. He's Bonado, champion of the customer service desk.
Then he shot the television and was asked to leave.
Oh, crap, Les. Get out of there before either James Caan or Josh Duhamel shows up.
Good call.
Turn it instantly red like the world's nerdiest stoplight.
Yikes, I think we just wandered into the Villa of the Giants.
Thought it was the dwelling of the douchebags. Schindler's List, Shawshank Redemption, and Benji Comes Home.
Man, that Benji was one hot dog. Oh man, can't I even get a badum chick for that?
I'll give you a badum chick.
Mr. Fabulous? The horn player from the Blues Brothers? That's an odd casting choice.
I think that being a bit player in a less manly game will be your absolute best role in life.
Basking in Mr. Fabulous's presence, sure, but talking to him? Now you've done it.
Mama had a Les and his head popped off.
Well, at least Les can cosplay as a broken C-3PO backpack now. Huh, I guess that one free resurrection car we stole from Madame Zarmuska burned up in the atmosphere too.
Or more likely, the designers forgot about it and hoped you did too.
Terrific.
Tell him that Steven Spielberg's on the phone for Schindler's List 2.
Fine. I'll put one of our guests in possible danger from a total stranger who literally walked in from the desert if you'll just shut up already.
And listen, Betty, don't start up with your white zone shit again.
Jake? Elwood? Never heard of him.
As opposed to the umbrella. Next time, just bring her a mojito first. Drinking a long look at the 80s, my friends.
Free refills for everybody.
Why is her nose sinking into her face? And is her right cheek swelling up?
Nipple. Sorry, what?
Despite calling you a wimp no less than 10 seconds ago. Come on, game!
Like lounge in a pool chair?
From horrid to horny in under 30 seconds.
Spill a soda on her. No, wait, bad idea.
Seriously, either Lila's 7 feet tall or Les is 4 foot short.
And once again, Les drops the ball with a woman.
At this point, I'm wondering if he's dropped his balls, period. You mean Vito? Hey, what happened to him anyway?
Oh, don't worry. Plot contrivance number 12 took care of him.
Goofball's still on the phone wondering who Mike Roch is.
Sir, you can't just wander through our hotel without a... screw it.
What's the deal with the farty music anyway?
Oh man, is Wayne Newton backed up again?
Oh, looks like Ed Grimley finally got a makeover.
Considering Lila Libido got horny for a geek like Les, I find her taste in men questionable at best.
No! Push all the buttons!
Ah, not that one! Push it again! Push it again! Whew. Man, remind me never to stay here. Security isn't just a joke, it's non-existent!
To be fair, all casinos want random idiots wandering the game floor at least. A veritable feast compared to the sweat hogs around the pool. Love how the game is a smartass to you if you don't include the word in.
Damn it, game, he's looking on the cart. Go screw yourself and your bad grammar.
Wow, free towels! Score!
What maid? I didn't see another sexy woman in all her 80s glory.
Uh-oh. Looks like Les has somehow driven another woman into a fit of uncontrollable lust. Gee, this new aftershave really works!
Dust bunnies killed her parents during the coup.
Mr. Fabulous has injured himself having another thought again. He remains in stable condition at Our Lady of Mercy Hospital.
Wait, didn't Les get the memo from WILL that employees of the station aren't eligible to participate?
Wait. He was too busy mentally undressing Stella to notice such an important detail. Game's still on, people.
You've never heard a grown man say the words boy and y'all so many times in a single rant.
Especially when the Ken doll didn't fool the circus goers.
And we will continue to win bigly.
Please stay tuned after the speech for the opposition response, provided by Senate Minority Leader Charlie Sheen.
But what about love, Les? Don't forget love. Waste your time more efficiently by playing the rest of this game. It's what I do, baby!
She needs to get on to suppressing the mildew uprising in the tub.
No justice for fungus, I see.
For prostitution services, call the front desk.
Bernardo will take care of you, Les. In so many ways.
He already is.
El Sign SN Drogas.
We have o cocaino.
Baito mio, por favor.
Mejor ser racista que aprender un idioma.
Unless it's a skeleton key, in which case, go nuts.
However, if you don't have a towel, you're not a hoopy fruit. Brought to you proudly by the Ford Prefect Society. The elevator runs on a skeleton key lock? What are the brakes made of? Hopes and dreams?
Aye, forsooth, verily, my lord.
When the game is questioning its own writing, that's generally not a good sign of things to come. Judging by this decor, Ebony and Ivory don't always live in perfect harmony.
I guess the music wasn't authorized to be up here either.
So that's what's keeping them afloat.
Hey.
Sewn by reluctant Filipino Laotians. Say what you want, but this game knows its audience.
And never misses a chance to talk down to them.
I mean Bosco and vodka. Yeah. What do you think this is? The Sims?
Not like Les Manly has much to pixelate anyway.
Oh, by the way, anybody out there need a copy of Dummies for Dummies? Anyone?
Wimpy Wrist, with his love life? Doubt it. That's the idea. Now Les can have a soak without all the water draining out.
Wait, don't I get a say in this?
Do you want to stop choking on my pocket lint or not?
Dick.
Seriously? Helmet is smaller than a Lego guy?
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's smallest politician.
And yet he still has bigger hands than Trump. And he's brought us all the pubic hair we'll ever need.
Wow, 1995 back then was like $10,000.
Or about 3 million Canadian.
So Les reuses his floss?
No, this is worse. He reuses floss thrown down a hairy hot tub drain that's been around a sweaty man's midsection.
Oh.
No wonder the penthouse was quiet. You have to pay to not hear music this bad.
She wears the damaged shirts. Poor dear doesn't even know how to sew a button. Or was it Grabby? Probably both.
Oh, sorry, Susie. I was just trying to figure out where your breasts went.
Or at least Conrad Birdie.
'Cause kings love jumpsuits.
Now you can be the king and the court jester.
With reasoning like that, no wonder she hates men getting ontological.
Wonder how old she was when the suit was first taken into the cleaners. And how many other clothes haven't been destroyed in those intervening 20 years.
Dude, you're putting more thought into it than the game designers did. Give it a rest. At worst, he'll only get virtually molested, murdered, and dumped in a ditch.
Holy crap, is this a crossover with Cars? Don't let him in, Fillmore.
Call me crazy, but I think Les's lunch break is over by now.
Sadly, while en route, Les choked to death after trying his first and last joint.
Almost as well as when Les was the human meteorite.
Couldn't the music have changed in the last 1,000 miles at least?
Especially when it came to pharmaceuticals.
Whoa.
What, is 40 years still too soon?
Call the burn unit.
He flew 2,500 miles across the country through the use of a fairground strength tester, but can't get through a crummy gate.
Just tie helmet with floss again, twirl him like a lasso, and cast him towards the house.
Don't question it, just do it!
Enjoy our map, influenced by the gas station diner's paper placemat, where the majority of this game's plot was hastily conceived and scribbled on the back.
Red's Bar and Grill. No better place to sing the blues.
Has a celebrity look-alike contest ever warranted being held nightly?
Yeah, it's so bad you'll get arrested by the police.
Really? Does that even warrant a drum fill?
Warrant! Ha! Good one.
Oh.
Before he started changing in Apple stores. This ain't Senran Kagura less, only one fan service call per game.
Can't you get Helmet a white jumpsuit too? He could be the angel perched on your shoulder.
Why, that's brilliant! So no, it'll never happen in this game.
Uh-oh, the music had one too many beers at Red's bar. Yep, there goes stumbling around back to...
And now, please welcome to our stage, Elvless Manly.
Well, it hardly seems worth it, but... Boo!
Including decades-old celebrities who have had both fat and skinny variants?
Okay, so why are the men in here then?
Cheap drinks, air conditioning, and a working John.
With neither a song nor a dance actually planned.
Or any real reason to be doing this at all.
If Les could have danced without instructions many years ago, he wouldn't be a nerd now. Holy crap, game.
Okay, he starts out with the bee's knees. Walks like an Egyptian, good. Moves on to tequila, ooh, risky choice. And he's done.
Hey game, you missed an adverb there. See? How do you like it?
The first different contestant we've had in 8 months. He wins by default.
Justifiable homicide. Okay, I'll admit it. That was a decent joke.
You have a new set of pajamas for bedtime.
Less manly. Search for the jammies.
Plot contrivance number 17. You're up.
Because buying a ticket or just sneaking in was way too convoluted.
Or a minigame involving Helmet picking a lock. Too unbelievable.
Yeah, stealing Elvis's clothes and humiliating yourself in public was far more plausible.
How come the kingdom looks like a cheap motel?
Seriously? The King of Town's estate was more impressive.
Vladimir Putin's summer dacha. This is what happens when you give a southern boy money.
Now, don't be cruel. But mostly financial reasons and avoiding more financial reasons.
The lawyers have only begun to remove the existence of this game.
Good lord! Who carpeted this room? And why haven't the authorities been called on them?
The local Fat Men's Club must meet here on weekends. Sit up, all fat men, sit up straight.
Ah, they placed the banana in here for scale.
I don't care. Just open the fucking door already.
Maybe it's locked or broken.
Then say so. Jeez.
I can't quite decide who has the better decorator, the king or Dr. Kerr.
Incidentally, all of this will soon be available for auction if tour ticket sales don't improve by next quarter.
What's with the giant Elvis suit? Was there some sort of failed umbrella experiment with Tyrant Elvis?
Itchy. Tasty, baby. Thank you very much for the flesh, baby. Uh-huh.
Does it also have a screw loose? Because there's dozens of highly armed guards somewhere.
Well, neither could Chris Brown, but that never stopped him.
Unfortunately.
What about the furriers? What about the Into the Wild guy who probably wants to see the bears die for what they did?
All that does is make the bear growl for a few seconds. Really not worth the trouble.
Oh, for the love of...
First a mailbox, then a hot tub drain, and now the insides of a dead bear. Helmut Bean, living the dream, baby.
What the hell? Is Les sucking in his breath, or did he suddenly gain 50 pounds?
Shame I can't suspend my disbelief the same way.
Ah, now Les can rob the house blind, pawn all the gold, and live like a king. Wait, this isn't that kind of game. Or is it?
If it works for Mariah, it'll work for you.
Along with all the women who have ever been with Les.
Because steel strings are for pussies.
Way to be passive-aggressive, game.
Yeah, save that shit for us Canadians.
We very much appreciate it, eh? Thanks, bud.
And this is where Elvis secretly ran the country during the 1960s. Yeah, mull that one around for a while, conspiracy theorists.
For the love of Richard, do not shine a black light in here.
Guaranteed to support the weight of your entire harem.
Send Helmut in after it.
He's the real hero of this game.
True that. A stripper pole? Awesome.
Oh, the king had a major fetish for firefighters.
Actually, Les dreamed of being a Ghostbuster, but he barely qualified for Lewis.
Holy crap, is Les a pole dancer?
Well, I'm not tipping him.
Or perhaps Control F4? Because cease that incessant spinning was too obvious a text command.
What, no animation of Les sailing through the wall?
Dweeb can stop on a dime.
Nor are you as cool as Fonzie.
Use Helmut! Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying that.
At this point, Les could write a book, touring America on $0 a day.
Make grilled cheese. Just change missing with here and remove soda.
Maybe we'll find one of Joe Robinson's inventions.
Les Manly in, search for the loaf.
And 2 hard-boiled eggs. Make that 3 hard-boiled eggs. The bag is also not closed, so therefore it is ajar too.
Whoa, you just blew my mind, man.
So if I opened your mind, does that mean it's ajar as well?
Dude.
Stop it before he vapor locks on us. Snap out of it, Meg.
Blam Vavolta. What? Huh?
Maybe it's Helmut's home. Punch some holes in the lid.
Too late.
No!
Just kidding.
You. Slap the shit out of Purser interface.
Indeed, no one should ever make that.
This will be how the computers finally get us. Fuck Skynet, they'll just use semantics to fuck with our heads. You're right, I'm sorry. Clearly the best sandwich making area is precisely 6 inches to the left!
A geek's true joy is a sandwich.
Send Helmut into the jar.
If you want a true Elvis lunch, you need far more drugs and fried chicken.
Whoops, you forgot to bring the milk, Les. Dead end!
Yikes! Either Les is severely allergic to bananas, or eating one sandwich just made him 8 months pregnant.
Mel Brooks?
Friday the 13th?
Don? Now, to the bathroom.
And there's the full Nicolas Cage mugshot.
I'd like to take his face off.
Les didn't even win Best Bow Tie? Harsh, man. Melanie, what can the problem be? Sweet Melanie.
So now that Les is fatter and waving around a guitar like a total spaz, he's somehow more Elvis? He didn't even style up his hair, for fuck's sake.
I feel like he's going to go El Kabong with that thing soon.
Boy, if that scarf wasn't sweat-stained before.
Ew, this smells like peanut and banana burps.
It's Evel Knievel!
Hey now, that's a horrible insult to Les Manley.
Sorry.
Aw, damn, Les's heart attack is starting. It's Pigpen's family on their yearly vacation to Texas.
Auntie Sty! Uncle Beauregard!
Wait, they mobbed him and didn't even take a souvenir?
That's why we can't find Helmut now.
And now Les gets to visit another kingdom, assuming they let him in.
Well, even if his Jesus impression sucks, he'll still get in with the consolation prize.
Good point.
These are the voyages of Shatner's ego, boldly exploring new mediums for Shatner to claim as his own. And behind here, all the douchebags from the hotel pool. They bought their ways in.
See, King? That's how you build a gate.
Hey, look. Roy Orbison, John Lennon, Buddy Holly, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Karen Carpenter, I think.
Wonder how many drugged-out rock stars managed to get into heaven.
Well, as long as they were snorting angel dust at some point.
Wonderful!
Thank God. We'll be able to bill him after all.
Does her name tag really read name, or is it just my imagination?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at her name tag.
We were rooting for it ourselves.
Yeah, that ought to be worth some change for the soda machine.
Heaven has a 1-hour film developer.
Too bad the nurse will win the $1 million now.
You'd think Les showing conclusive proof that there's an afterlife would be the bigger story over winning some stupid contest. But hey, what do I know about running a TV station?
Know what I mean? Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Say no more.
Please.
He's updated his industry from the 1890s to the 1980s. Let's give him a hand and tell him to never get into mortgage lending.
The spirit world tunes her into Ellen DeGeneres every morning.
It was a sweet deal, except for the occasional idiot who would shake her ball violently and ask if they'd ever find true love.
Hey, let's hear it for the teeny little super guy.
Yay!
Thank goodness this game had one sympathetic, almost protagonist.
Fuck no! If eating a banana in this universe makes you fat, eating a cheeseburger will probably kill you on the spot!
But Vito failed to score 50,000 points on Double Dragon and was laughed out of the Nintendo World Championships.
They broke him like a Virtual Boy.
I'm booked for that ride too. Tell me when it gets there.
Ah, so she went from one obscure fad to an even more obscure fad. Good, good.
And picking up melanomas by the truckful.
Nah, the gigantism got her before the melanoma did.
Les looks like a guy who can't quite make it without support from viewers like you.
I'd tell Les to give Jay Leno back his suit, but it seems that Jay's about 125 too big for it now.
And back in the shadows is the director of news, Paul Manafort.
So, what was the cure to peanut butter and banana fat ass-osis? A cigar?
Yeah, right. Like this piece of crap would ever get up. Oh, poopy.
Fresh hell.
Excellent.
Oh, well, fancy that. They made another one. Yeah, because one definitely wasn't enough. Wow, that's really something. I guess someday we're gonna... And then I'm gonna have to...
While my brother loses his mind, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this LP. I'm Kizzy Caspi. See you next time.
And welcome back, Mystery Science Theater 3000. We missed you and we love you. This button press is dedicated to you.
They see me mowing my front lawn. just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Really, really white and nerdy.
First in my class there at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion at D&D. MC Escher, that's my favorite MC. Keep your 40 out, just have an Earl Grey tea. My rims never spin, to the contrary. You'll find that they're quite stationary. All of my action figures are cherry. Stephen Hawking's in my library. My MySpace page is all totally pimped out. Got people begging for my top 8 spaces. Yo, I know pie to 1,000 places. Ain't got no grills, but I still wear braces. I order all of my sandwiches with mayonnaise. I'm a whiz, a minesweeper, I can play for days. Once you see my sweet moves, you're gonna stay amazed. My fingers moving so fast, I'll set the place ablaze. There's no killer rap I haven't run. At Pascal, well, I'm number 1. Do vector calculus just for fun. I ain't got a gap, but I got a soldering gun. Happy Days is my favorite theme song. I can sure kick your butt in a game of ping pong. I'll ace any trivia quiz you bring on. I'm fluent in JavaScript as well as Klingon. Here's the part I sing on.
See me roll on my Segway. I know in my heart they think I'm wild.